Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we're going to talk about our favorite bourbons and ryes for spring, because spring is in the air.
That's true. So we've been around long enough, we've done the full seasons.
I love it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe we've done this for going on a year now to where, man, full circle. So anyway, we always like to throw out a handful of bottles that we like. The spring's a little complicated. Like when we were talking about the list, because you got to put some lower proof in there for some of those warmer days, but you got to have some higher proof stuff for some of those colder days. I think it's on. Fall
today would
easy.
Today would be a perfect higher proof day because it's chilly.
Yeah,
it was so chilly.
30, 40 degrees outside would be perfect.
Yeah.
But then like a week before that, you needed some lower stuff because it was in the 70s and stuff like that. So I don't know why though. The fall was so much easier because you can get that profile down for the fall. And this spring's by far been the hardest.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's start. So the first one we're going to do, Bowman Brothers, small batch bourbon whiskey. So we've already talked to you guys before about their limited release with the cask strength, which is beautiful. But we haven't talked at all about the small batch. And I'll be honest with you guys, I had never had any Bowman until here recently. Or I won't say recently, within like last year or whatever. This is a very underrated bottle. This stuff, Bowman doesn't make any of their own stuff, but they source it from Buffalo Trace. They take all their they basically distill it for them, ship it out there to them. They redistill everything, and then they age it out there. This is basically mash bill 1, and it's aged 6 to 7 years. You kind of can't find that kind of stuff anymore for 30-something bucks, and it's like $36 or something.
So good.
Has a really nice candy apple, toasted oak, toffee kind of note.
Really smooth, 90 proofer, man. It's
kind of hard not to like.
Yeah,
and
I really enjoy this. This is on my daily drinker list. We came out with it, and this was one that I was gonna put on our list, but I decided not to put it on the list.
Close.
It was close.
Close.
Because I had about that much left.
Yeah, it's a really nice, easy drinker, and it's available.
Yeah.
So
always good. Number 2 on the list is Benchmark Single Barrel, what we like to call the poor man's Eagle Rare.
Yeah, the poor man's Eagle Rare. I mean, outside the grape note.
Yeah.
It tastes just like Eagle Rare.
Yeah, it really does.
It's hilarious.
Vanilla pudding kind of, the cocoa, the slight oakiness to it.
Yeah, it's honestly, to me, it's just missing a grapefruit note. Or not grapefruit, but
the grape. Yeah, the grape note that seems to always be in the Eagle Rare. And the cool thing with this is it's only $17.
It's a great price.
Yeah.
And for people that sit there and trash on Benchmark, I semi-understand it, because some of the old, like the 80-something proof one, I'm not the biggest fan of.
Yeah.
But since they've done this, at first I was like, okay, it's kind of gimmicky, like single barrel, full proof, top floor, whatever it is. I'm like, it's kind of Buffalo Trace marketing, gimmicky, whatever. No, it's actually pretty good.
It's not, yeah.
The ones I've tried.
The full proof is really good.
I love full proof.
Yeah, the full proof is really good.
Full proof's great.
So, yeah.
So, I'll argue that all day long. So
you don't even have to argue it.
That's true.
100%.
So actually, this is going to be the bottle that we've both been sipping on. Because I don't think David ever tried this before.
I had not tried it.
And I want him to try it. This is Redemption 10-year barrel proof rye. This stuff, guys, for anybody who's new.
Apologize. Sorry. That sneeze came out of nowhere.
Bless you, and I could feel it on my hand. For anybody who's remotely new to whiskey whatsoever, this is sourced from MGP. This is that famous 95.5 rye recipe that everybody clamors over, that you can't find anymore, you can't get anymore. And by the way, I keep saying MGP. It's Ross and Squid. Whatever.
Sounds like a cartoon now.
It does sound. It sounds exactly like a cartoon. But this stuff, it's so incredible. I've only ever heard, honestly, I think I've only heard one other whiskey channel talk about it. Shout out to Drew P. Whiskey. I think he's the one that talks about this stuff. If you can find it on the shelf, to buy it immediately. it's not always out there, but for the most part, you can find it within every couple of months, at least for us locally.
Yeah.
I bought a bunch of these from Kroger. It's going to become one of my daily drinkers now. I'm telling you guys, if you want to go back into a time machine and try the old MGP stuff that we used to have all the time 5+ years ago, 4+ years ago, 3+ years ago.
Yep.
This is where you go. And great thing is the notes on it, dark chocolate, some grilled pineapple. It's just super rich in those notes. I just love it.
Yep. Number 4 on the list, and I must say that I am a Redwood Empire fan. I'd say that we are Redwood.
Oh, yeah.
We are Redwood Empire fans.
Definitely.
This is Lost Monarch. This is a blend of bourbon and rye, aged. It doesn't really. It's aged at least 3 years, and it has one of my favorite tasting notes, leather.
Yes. That's true.
I don't know why I love it so much. I mean, there's some dill and some orange in there as well, but the leather note just sends it over the edge for me. We love pretty much everything that Redwood Empire has put out. We have enjoyed.
Yeah, and I've had, first off, they look amazing on a
bar. Yeah, the artwork on it is just.
I mean the
second to none.
They do such an amazing job with that. I used to think their rye was the best thing out there, and then whenever we kind of went over and we reviewed it, and I tried this, I was like, man, I think I like this more now.
Yeah.
Like, it's just,
I really enjoy this.
It's so crazy good. Like just that, it's like the perfect blend.
It really is,
and it's so great. Like, I can't stress this enough. If you have the opportunity to grab one of these, grab one.
It doesn't even matter which one it is. Just grab it. If you see any of them, grab them because they're worth having.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so the next one, Old Granddad, Bottle and Bond. Now, we've talked a ton about the 114, but we had to show a little love to just the traditional Bottle and Bond.
Yep.
So whenever I started looking into it, and I knew that this brand was really old. This brand was around like the 1800s. It's one of the oldest brands out there. Now, it's changed names a little bit. Like when it first started out, it was owned by a pharmacy because, during Prohibition,
Medicine.
That's my kind of pharmacy, by the way.
For sure.
Medicine. My kind of place, though. But legitimately, this thing on a nice warm day, this is such a sweet, easy sipper.
It really is an easy sipper.
For $25, it's 4 years old. It just has, it's really nice, creamy caramel and charred oak.
All the things that you love.
It's awesome, and it's $25. Like it's available everywhere, to my knowledge. Like I don't know anywhere where you can get it.
And he looks like a sweet old man, like your granddad.
Well, that is Basil Hayden.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Looks like your granddad.
All right. One of my favorites.
Listen.
One of the staples.
It is. It's a staple.
Of not only the channel but of me when it comes to foundation of bourbon.
You should have one of these in your collection. Old Forester 1920. Just solid, perfect proof, 115, perfect proof. It's got all the good tasting notes. It's got a lot of rich chocolate in there, a lot of sweet caramel, some hint of, if you don't know Old Forester, a little bit of hint of banana.
Just a little.
A little hint of banana, but just so solid. Such a good bourbon. You're never disappointed when you get a pour of this.
No, it's in my opinion one of the best everyday.
Yeah,
it's one of the best bourbons out there because the availability of it. And so when people start going out there and hunting rare allocation, people start getting frustrated with this. I'm like, have you tried 1920 yet? No, never had it. I'm like, you might want to go try it.
You might want to go try it.
It kind of beats a lot,
and it's $50.
Yeah.
So
yeah, $50, $60.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. 50, so $55, $60, whatever.
So now we've kind of talked about all of that is kind of like your basic, like kind of everyday shelfer kind of stuff. So we always kind of towards the end of these videos, we always like to throw a little bit of allocation out there. Nothing that's super hard or crazy to find, but technically allocation.
Technically allocated.
So the one I'm throwing out there, Sam Houston 15-year. Now, this is technically allocated, but I still feel like you can find this a whole bunch of different places. This bottle, it's fantastic. It's a daily drinker.
It really is.
Of mine for a long, long time. It was our 17th whiskey of the year for 2021. These bottles, yes, are going to be pricey. I understand that.
But you're getting a 15-year-old bourbon.
You're getting a 15-year-old bourbon. Like, you can find them between like 120 to 150. You're basically paying $10 a year. That's, in my opinion, I know people are going to argue, like, you can't judge year and value. I always say $10 a year, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Like, for me personally.
Yeah, I think that
works for me and my budget. So I'm cool with that. But man, it's so nice. It's a little bit lower proof at, for 100 and 103. Oh, I was going to say 108. But to me, they drink richer than that. They drink higher proof than that. Yeah. And it's just a really classic traditional.
We battled this. We did a bourbon battle with this and the Calumet
15. Yes.
15. And this one.
Oh yeah,
easily.
And it wasn't. Yeah, and they're both really good.
They are both really good, but this
is good.
Yeah,
but I think that on this bottle here alone, it's really nice toasted marshmallows, cinnamon, butterscotch,
all the good things, all the things that you love.
Has a lot of great stuff.
Number 8 on our list for spring bourbons is 1792 full proof, and the truth is like the value in these are really if you can find store picks.
Yes.
Because I think the store picks are where the really good taste is. Just a standard full proof is fine.
Yep.
But the store picks just seem to have a different edge to them that make them a little bit better. And what I love about it is even though there's not an age statement, like you can do enough research and stuff to find that like this is an 8+ year bourbon.
I think whenever Barton released these, they put on their initial statement. They're 8.5 years old.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
So, that's really good age.
It really is a good age, yeah.
For these bottles being 8.5 years old, 125 proof, and I think
and this is a Cox's Evergreen, so they have a tendency to do pretty decent.
Yeah, no, they're super solid. I mean, they're like high 40s, low 50s, typically. Really great value. And yes, I understand it's allocated. For us in our area, though, you can stumble upon these I don't want to say all the time, but
pretty regularly,
every other month.
Yeah, pretty regularly. So, you can stumble upon them. So they're just always a solid one to have. If you don't have a full proof on your shelf, you should.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So in the comments below, just go ahead and leave us a comment. Let us know what you think are, if we missed something, if we should have maybe added something for the springtime, let us know. And what's your favorite on the list? What's your favorite, by the way? Do you have a favorite on here?
On this list, I would say probably the Bowman Brothers is probably my favorite.
Ooh, really?
I mean, okay. I like the Sam Houston, but I feel like probably because we don't talk about Bowman Brothers a whole lot. Like I'd like to give it a little bit of love because it is really good. Like the cast strength was awesome.
Yeah.
And the small batch is really good. So I would say on this list right now I would pick the Bowman Brothers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's 1920 for me, and then a tie between honestly
the Redemption
Houston
Rye
and the Redemption Rye.
Yeah.
Love them both.
That's why I'm going in a different direction. So there we go. Anyway, all right. Well, till next time, we'll see you.
See you.